You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome along. We're here to cut through some of the static today, really get to the core of a few pretty significant tech shifts happening right now. We've sifted through quite a bit. Industry news, some new research, the works.
That's right. It feels like everything's moving so fast, doesn't it? But what's interesting is how these different headlines, things that seem maybe unrelated at first glance, they actually connect in some really vital ways.
Okay, let's get into it then. First up, AI. Always AI, it seems. There's a lot of noise around xAI's Grok 4. They're claiming it's, well, the top model now, based on benchmarks.
Yeah, the claim is it's number one. Grok 4 is specifically being pushed as a reasoning model. So it's not just about spitting out text. The idea is it can handle, complex problems, follow logic, almost think analytically.
Okay, and the practicalities, like cost, availability.
Right. So pricing-wise, it's about $3 per million input tokens and $15 per million for output. Tokens being those little bits of data or words the AI chews on. That pricing puts it right in the competitive zone for businesses, you see. You can access it via the xAI API, the Grok chatbot on X itself, and there's talk it might land on Microsoft's Azure AI Foundry too.
And speed. How does it stack up?
It runs at about 75 tokens per second. Now, that's, well, a little slower maybe than OpenAI's very fastest model, O3, for just raw output speed.
Okay.
But interestingly, it's quicker than Anthropic's Claude 4 Opus. So yeah, it's definitely a serious contender in this incredibly crowded field.
Speaking of contenders and just, wow, huge impact, Nvidia. We have to talk about Nvidia hitting $4 trillion in market value.
$4 trillion. It's staggering, isn't it?
It really is.
And it's not just a number on a stock ticker. Being the first company ever to reach that, it tells you so much about the sheer economic power behind foundational AI tech right now.
So it's directly tied to the generative AI boom.
Directly. Nvidia makes the GPUs, the chips. They're essentially building the infrastructure, the picks and shovels for this entire generative AI revolution. It shows where the real economic leverage is concentrating. It's shaping everything.
Okay, so from those massive highs, let's pivot to a pretty significant shakeup at X. Linda Yaccarino is stepping down as CEO.
Yeah, that news dropped after, well, months of uncertainty, really. X, formerly Twitter, of course, has had a very public struggle keeping advertisers on board since Elon Musk took over.
Right, the exodus was widely reported.
Exactly, and the timing she cited is interesting. The company is apparently, for the first time since the takeover, projecting actual growth in ad revenue. She basically said it was a good time to hand over the reins. But it definitely highlights the volatility, the immense pressure cooker environment within some of these big tech firms, especially under, let's say, disruptive leadership changes.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Moving from models and markets to maybe how we'll interact with tech day to day. OpenAI is reportedly working on an AI browser.
This one's intriguing. The reports suggest it might try to keep user interactions inside the ChatGPT environment, rather than just being a portal sending you off to other websites.
So fewer clicks out, more happening right there.
Potentially, yeah. And there's talk that they might integrate Operator, which is their AI agent designed to browse and act on the web for you. Imagine your whole web session kind of curated, analyzed by the AI.
That sounds like a very different way of using the web.
It could be. Definitely gives OpenAI direct access to way more user behavior data and lets them experiment with totally new kinds of user experiences. Lots of potential there, but also, questions too.
And sticking with innovation, but something much more physical. Hugging Face. They've launched a robot, the Reachy Mini, for just $299. That sounds incredibly cheap for a robot.
It really does, and that's the point. I think it could be genuinely disruptive for making robotics development more accessible.
So what do you actually get for that $299?
Quite a bit, actually. It has this head with 6 degrees of freedom, meaning it can move very expressively, look around realistically. Less full body rotation, these little animated antennas, a wide-angle camera, multiple microphones, even a speaker. And there's an option for a totally wireless version with a Raspberry Pi 5 computer built in, plus a battery. And the kicker, it's going to be open source, hardware design, software, assembly guides, all of it. Programmable in Python initially, with JavaScript and Scratch coming later.
Open source hardware, too. That's big.
It's huge. It could really democratize things, taking sophisticated robotics out of just research labs and putting it into the hands of hobbyists, students, small startups, like the early days of personal computing, maybe.
So tying this all together then.
Yeah.
We've got these advanced AI models pushing boundaries, market caps hitting astronomical levels because of the underlying tech, corporate shifts reflecting the pressures, new ways to maybe browse the web, and suddenly really accessible robotics. It feels like a lot is converging.
It really does. These aren't isolated events. They're all pieces of this bigger puzzle, collectively reshaping how we relate to technology, creating possibilities and probably challenges we haven't even fully grasped yet.
It really makes you think about what comes next.
Absolutely. And maybe the question for you listening is, with things moving this fast across AI, hardware, software, the very interfaces we use, what fundamental assumptions do we hold about technology, about who gets access to it, or even, what something like intelligence really means? What assumptions might we need to start rethinking pretty radically in the years ahead?
Spoken Tech for your ears.